Hey, how's everybody doing today? No, I haven't made a video in a while. Just honestly just haven't been feeling it too much. At least as far as like my longer, more explanatory videos are concerned. Just haven't really been into it. Haven't been able to think of a topic that really interested me too much, or which really there are tons of things that interest me, but I just haven't had the will to want to go to sit down and make a video and talk about stuff. But I'm here today. I'm doing it. Here pretty soon, myself and David are going to start making videos once he gets out of school and he's done doing track. So we'll start making videos together again a little more consistently, probably coming out like once every 1 or 2 weeks. Just because we enjoy doing that, it's fun. We can delve in a lot of information together and talk about a lot of different things. So today what I want to discuss are 5 things that you're doing or not doing that are holding you back from really increasing your weight loss. That's what this is about, but it does hit other factors too. So the first thing I want to do that I want to hit on is eating before or after exercise. And I know I talked about this in regards to fasting before, but even if you're not someone who practices fasting or does it, not eating before or after exercise, at least as far as weight loss is concerned, even muscle gain, you're really doing yourself a disservice by eating, if you're eating really directly before or directly after your exercise. And the reason is, so let's just talk about, we'll start with before. So really, you just want to give yourself like at least a 3-hour window before you exercise to not be eating anything. And this, we're going to look at this as fueling an engine, fueling a car. You don't, at least in this case, you don't want to top off that gas. You don't want to be adding more fuel to the fire when you're exercising, because that's your fat storage. So if you're giving yourself energy prior to your exercise, when you're trying to burn off fat, you're trying to get rid of that excess white visceral fat that you don't want to have, you're making it significantly harder on yourself to do that if you're giving your body energy prior to exercise. Now, obviously, if you have a medical condition, let's use diabetes for an example, where you put yourself at like actual physical medical risk of not eating something, that's an entirely different story. But for a normal individual who is relatively healthy, there's really no reason you should be doing this, as it's just holding you back from losing more weight. And the other side of that, as far as muscle gain is concerned, give your body a chance to replenish and recycle some of the muscle tissue that is perhaps a little bit weaker or not as productive in your body, so that can break down, be flushed out, be gotten rid of, quote unquote. So it doesn't really go anywhere, it just recycles and it gets a little bit better. So let that break down, and then when you do eat later on, which we'll talk about that in a second, you'll have better quality, stronger muscle to work with, as time goes on and you're exercising. Now, after exercise, the reason you don't want to be eating directly after is, again, as at least we'll start off with weight loss. It's you're missing out on a golden opportunity to be letting your body, again, burn off some more excess fat as it tries to get back to homeostasis, as it tries to get back to normal, trying to get back to that, just your normal, regular state of just existing. Your body is in thermogenesis, it's warm, it's still kind of amped up. Give it a chance to come back down, and while it's doing that, allowing you to burn fat at the same time. If you eat something right after you get done exercising, you're missing out on that kind of golden hour, that golden area state where you can just be pretty much not doing anything and burning more fat. And then on the muscle gain side of things, of eating after you work out, I talked about this before too, there is no anabolic window. at least within 24 hours. You don't need to eat within an hour or half an hour after you get done exercising to help gain more muscle. It's not a thing. It's not real. As long as you eat within 24 hours after you exercise, you're going to be gaining muscle. You're going to be getting stronger muscle, and you're going to be getting more quality muscle fibers and density there. So the best time, at least as far as a minimum goes, that I'd recommend for someone to eat after they get done exercising is 3 hours. That's when you're going to see a significant boost in muscle synthesis within your body to actually get to really get muscle and to really see improvement there and the quality of your actual muscle. Like, so if you're exercising, it'll be easier to do the exercises and you'll see more results coming out of that. All right, so that's the first thing. The next thing we're going to talk about eating again is eating between meals. And again, this kind of goes along with the fasting thing. You're not doing yourself any favors. We'll go back to the car analogy here. If you're constantly topping off that energy source within your body and never giving yourself a chance to start recycling or burning off fat, you're not doing yourself any favors. You're not doing anything okay. I guess the common thing is you're keeping up your metabolic rate. That's not how your metabolism works. There's no reason to be snacking in between meals. You're just turning off your body's ability to be burning fat and increasing your body's ability to bring things into storage. Now, you don't have to follow this method all the time, but if you do it consistently enough to where you have one meal and you have another meal, maybe you have a third meal, however many actual meals you have throughout the day, however just 1, 2, 3, you're going to see a lot more results a lot quicker if you don't snack in between your meals. You're just not doing yourself any favors as far as weight loss goes. Give your body a chance to recycle. Give your gut a chance to get some more gut motility going so it can move stuff out and flush things out so it's not constantly working. Especially if you eat carby foods all the time, give your pancreas a rest. Let your insulin not constantly be up all the time. I've said this before, and I still hold by this idea that the pancreas is the hard, at least as far as an American society is concerned with the Western style diet, that is one of the hardest working organs in our body because it's constantly having to pump out insulin. You see a lot of cases with that type 2 diabetes because pancreas just can't keep up anymore. It's just too much. Okay, so let's move on to our next topic here, and that is moving away from the eating, women lifting. I don't know who came up with this or who kind of popularized the idea that if you're a woman and you exercise, you lift, you're gonna get bulky and you're just gonna look like a buff dude. That's not how. First of all, it's not how exercise works in general from person to person to person, but there is a significant difference in the biochemistry and the physiology of a male versus a female. It's going to cause someone to look either lean, a little more cut up, or just big, bulky, and muscular. Women have different chemicals within their body than guys do. Women do not have the amount of testosterone, which generally speaking is what causes the big bulkiness that most men have when they exercise a lot. They have progesterone, other things that are not coming to mind right now, estrogen, which men have estrogen too, but again, it's lower than it is in females. So that it's not going to cause the same kind of effect that it's going to cause in men. And it's been, I know in recent, at least in recent months, I've seen a much more of a drive towards, you know, women lifting weights, to lose fat and to get in better shape, which is fantastic, but it's still not gaining the popularity that it should be. Just because it's, in order to lose fat, in order to increase your metabolic rate, you need muscle, and you're not going to get a good a good enough amount of muscle if you're constantly doing cardio all the time, unless that's what you're going for, to be able to do that, to increase your metabolic rate, to increase your metabolism. So whomever came up with this idea that women lifting weights was going to cause them to look like a guy, you know, has done women a great disservice for very, very many years. And unless that's what you're going for, is to have that physique, or you're going to start taking steroids or some kind of other hormonal inhibitor that's going to cause your testosterone to rise ridiculously high as a female, you're not going to look like that. It's not how physiology works in women versus guys. And I know not some guys look like that. It's just, you know, this is a topic for an entirely separate video as far as like this works on a body type level. But women, females, if you want to lose weight and you want to lose weight quicker, stop spending an hour on the treadmill. Stop, you know, running on a bike for an hour and a half to lose weight. Still do your cardio. Absolutely still do your cardio, but do your weightlifting first, and do it with the mindset that that is something that is going to help you get in better shape, look better, feel better, and lose weight quicker. You don't need to be afraid of lifting weights, because it's not gonna hurt you as long as you know what you're doing, and it's not gonna cause you to bulk up. And like I said, unless that's what you're going for, in which case, generally speaking, you're going to need a specific type of program or certain supplements to make that happen. You know, doing lifting 2-3 days a week, it's not going to cause you to be huge. It's just not how it works. So, ladies, please lift weights. Don't listen to anything the internet tells you as far as that it goes. Lift weights so that you can have the body that you want to have. All right. So the next thing is not exercising consistently. And I know this seems like a very, very baseline thing. Obviously, if you don't work out consistently, you're not going to lose weight. But I still feel like I needed to touch on it, just because I've been guilty of this sometimes before too. And, you know, maybe not so much as the average individual, but it is important. You know, if you don't work out consistently, you notice very quickly that, you know, you're not giving yourself the opportunities that you need in order to lose weight and build muscle. You know, if you're the type of person that needs to see those results quickly in order to feel like that's what you need to do, keep exercising, then the intensity of which you exercise needs to increase. But whatever it takes for you to get in the gym consistently, or I guess now more than ever, exercise at home, figure it out what kind of routine that you need to do in order to make that happen. You know, whether it's like having a cup of coffee, like I do that before exercise, that gets me in the mood. Having a certain stretching routine, getting clothes on, getting your exercise clothes on before you start working out. Figure out something that gets you in the mood to want to exercise, and make that a priority, because there's not too many things that are going to, you know, increase the quality of your life more than having a consistent, exercise routine, besides nutrition, but I harp on that all the time, and everyone's going to hear that. You feel so much better when you do it. I've been doing this for almost 10 years now, and I know if I don't at least work out 3, 4, sometimes 5 days a week, I feel like garbage. It's because I feel like I've let myself down, and that's great. That's great to have that. That's honestly the kind of mindset you want to have, at least to a healthy extent, to where you don't feel like, I need to work out every single day. But let yourself feel bad about it. But don't just let that swamp you down and it'll make yourself feel like garbage. Use that feeling to get yourself exercising. If it makes you feel bad, the way you look or the way you feel, don't just wallow in your self-pity and feel bad about it. Do something with it. Use that feeling to get into the gym, to work out at home, to whatever kind of exercise it is you enjoy doing, weightlifting, cycling, hiking, lifting, whatever the case may be. Do something. It doesn't do yourself or anyone else any good to be like, oh man, I missed a workout today. I feel like crap, but I'm just going to sit around and continue to do it. It doesn't do anything. You're not doing yourself any favors. Again, I'm not perfect in that sense either. I felt like that before. Man, I really wish I really want to work out today, but I don't do it. But it just takes you in getting that mindset of being able to figure out what it is for you that gives you your motivation. Figure out what it is that you need to do to get that exercise started. And no one else can make that for you. No one else can decide what those things are that matter to you or that are important. Just the closer to your heart that they are, the more that they mean to you, beyond aesthetic or surface level things, the more that's going to mean to you when you start to exercise. So I know that got kind of sentimental, but all right. So next thing, and my final thing here that I want to hit on, is not changing your exercise routine or your intensity. And what this has to do with is muscle memory and muscle confusion. And you probably heard at least maybe one of those things before. When you exercise and you get into a certain exercise routine, so let's say you're doing certain sets of various exercises that consist of you doing 4 to 6 reps of a moderate to heavy weight. And then you're doing that for 4 to 6 weeks, maybe a little bit longer, and that's great. But you never change it. And then you hit a plateau and you don't really understand why that you're not getting over that hump, whether it be hitting a certain body composition goal, body fat, certain weight. You're not, whether that weight be your own or something that you're moving as far as plates are concerned. You're not hitting a goal there that you want to hit. That's a good chance that's the reason why. Your body will get used to doing certain exercises over a period of time, and it'll become very efficient at doing that. And that's a good thing. It's good that your body can become efficient at doing certain movements and certain exercises. That's just adaptability. That's how humans survive. That's how we overcome. That's just what we do. But as far as an exercise standpoint is concerned, if you want to accomplish a certain thing, then there's going to come a point to where that's not going to benefit you anymore. Both, doing certain exercises or varying your intensity is very, very important. It is crucial in maintaining and overcoming what you want out of yourself. So, if you're doing those 4 to 6 heavyweight intensity reps and sets of exercise for whatever it might be for a long enough period of time, change it up. Maybe do some HIIT exercise, just so you have a few periods of time where you have your heart rate really elevated, and you're doing more of a fat burning type thing, or you're working on muscle endurance instead of power, and doing more something like 12 to 15 reps for 3 to 4 sets instead of the heavier weight. And you're going to find that doing those things are going to help you in the areas that you originally intended to improve upon. Sometimes we need to switch up our approach to meet our goals that we want to do, or that we want to reach. And I know I've seen this in myself before too. I like having a nice, deep, powerful squat. And normally the weight that I like to do and the rep style that I like to adhere to is 6 to 8 reps, 3 to 4 sets, just moving up in weight as I go along. And over a period of time, my body got used to that, and I wasn't seeing any more results. I didn't feel like I was getting any stronger. Nothing was really changing there. So I changed the exercises I was doing to hit some more complementary muscles to achieve the result in the squat that I wanted to do. So I started doing more front squats, different variations of squats, where I was working a different subset of muscles, more of the front of my body, the front axle period, like part of my body, and I saw greater results in my squat because I had improved a different area of my body that would complement the other part of my body that I was using. So there's that there, and then like for a fat loss thing, I love doing just that 6 to 8 rep range of weights to increase strength, but I also like to keep the aesthetic of my body a certain way and look a certain way, and that type of exercise doesn't really help me. So I started to incorporate more HIIT when I feel like I don't look like how I want to. And what I mean by that is a little slimmer, like in my midsection. So I do HIIT every now and again to help maintain that body aesthetic and that certain look that I want to have, that slimmer look, because it helps you lose fat quicker. Like it's a better metabolic driver to do HIIT every now and again, and it's a good switch up. So that's changing up your exercise routine or the way you do things in your intensity is a great way to do that. So those are the five things there are obviously very many other topics, but just for the purpose of the video I was making today, everyone loves like 5 things, 10 things, 7 things, whatever. So I will make more videos like this in the future. I can't promise that they'll be consistent. I know when David and I start doing videos together again, that I'll try that and make more consistently. But the individual videos I try to make with myself, those will probably be kind of hit or miss, just depending on the kind of feedback that I get. If I get enough feedback from people that they want more content, or they want a specific kind of content, I will deliver that to the best of my ability and be a little more consistent with that. So, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. Check out my my website and my various pages that I have on Instagram, Facebook. I did start True Coach, which is pretty much a fully online integrated website that you can go on to and find me on there to make programs for both like nutrition and exercise. If that's something you're interested in, I'd appreciate getting some help with that, getting some clients on there, just because I'm just starting that out. So everyone have a great day. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys later.